Well, we know that Sharknadoes and zombies exist in the Z Nation world. Do aliens? That was the big question for the episode tonight on Z Nation. Hey everybody, Derek here to bring another video for Z Nation. And this video will be reviewing the most recent episode, Rozwell. I'm trying not to laugh, I gotta be honest. This episode, I don't know how to feel about it. It was definitely very out there. It was something different. One of those episodes that is kind of just a one-time thing. But it had its moments, and I guess maybe later, maybe later on in the series, maybe it will mean something. But I'm still trying to figure out how to grasp it. So I'm going to let you guys know what happened. If you are not caught up with Z Nation, then this video will contain spoilers. Okay. So the episode begins with the group basically driving through New Mexico. They were, trying to, of course, continue to get Murphy to California. And they end up, as they're going down the road, they see this UFO-shaped object flying around in the sky, and right before that, we see this blonde woman who is walking down the road, and this UFO thing, beams a light down on her and beams a light down on a zombie, and ends up slicing the zombie into little pieces. And of course, the group is driving by, and they happen to see this, and it brings up the discussion. Do they believe in aliens or not? And you have various different individuals who, feel different. Warren tells a story about how her father, who was in the Air Force, saw a figure that he believed was a UFO, and she kind of always was hoping that it was real. And of course, again, Roberta Warren does appear in the Sharknado series, in Sharknado 3, and it is her character. So that's why I said Sharknadoes exist in this world, because they do. It's a little hint given in by the Asylum, which produces Z Nation. Doc, also pretty much buys into that. 10,000 even buys into it. He always has believed in aliens, and, hey, he says if they're out there, they're out there. But Murphy, being the pessimist that he is, does not. He thinks that the idea of aliens are ridiculous, and the fact that they're going anywhere near Rozwell just really doesn't excite him much. But the group ends up going to Rozwell, New Mexico, which, if you're familiar with the area, it is home to what many believe is Area 51, which is this government base that many individuals believe that aliens are there and that the government's experimenting on them or something strange. I'm not 100%, but that's the street knowledge that I know about it. But, they get there, and they do find that there are individuals there who, are waiting for aliens. The blonde woman, whose name is Bernadette, she claims to be the person that's in communication with the aliens. That, that there are aliens that, communicate to her, and she follows along, and she can actually, figure out what they want her to do, so she's kind of like the medium for all of them. And there's a group of people there that believe that the aliens are coming, and they, their belief amongst themselves is that the aliens are going to come and rescue them and, take them away from the Earth, because obviously, Earth has been ravaged by the zombie apocalypse. So they're hoping that the aliens will, of course, take them away. And they're sitting around, and they meet this other guy called Dan Scully, which seemed to be a nod towards the X-Files, because there's a character in the X-Files named Scully. So a couple little hints here about aliens throughout the episode. And what ends up happening is Scully tells them that Bernadette's a liar and that the idea of aliens is absolutely ridiculous. That in regards to the aliens like coming to save them, he says there are aliens too. So there's no debate between everybody there about maybe the presence of aliens. Scully believes that there are aliens, but that they're already here and that they have no intention of, saving them. Their intention is to just, continue to destroy the earth. He even states that they created the zombie virus and blames the aliens for doing this. So we have a race of alien zombies, that are around. And Bernadette actually singles out Murphy as being the one that the aliens want to see or talk to. That Murphy would be like the ambassador, if you will, for the human race, because he has the cure within him. So, this possibility that the aliens may want the cure from him, may be what's going on there. So, that's pretty much what's going on at first. We also have, other signs of aliens just appearing throughout the episode. Because what ends up happening is Bernadette, the woman, she ends up taking them to this Air Force base because they think that they could find maybe a plane, heck, maybe a UFO, and to basically fly it to California, because obviously flying would be a lot quicker. Of course, Murphy is not so ecstatic about flying because if you remember the episode Going Nuclear, when they helped that father and daughter with the power plant, Murphy flew out in a plane and it crashed. So obviously he's not very excited about that. Well, they end up getting to the base, and Bernadette basically states that the aliens, which may be zombie aliens, basically communicate with her. That when she steps out and the light beams down, that somehow she is eventually able to, understand exactly what they want her to do. And, she states that she can't understand their language, but that she can basically, go about the way that she does things and, figure out what they want, and she just does it. Well, she ends up taking the group down to an underground base, which may be Area 51, we don't know. But they end up going inside this, little, looks like a break room. And, Bernadette tells Doc, hey, there's gum. Why don't you try the gum? Well, when he pulls on the thing on the vending machine, it, drops the group down, maybe hundreds of feet down into the ground, and they end up at the bottom of the base. As they get out, they start to, look around the area. It does look to be, an underground base that may have been used for some kind of experiments or something. And they're walking through the hall and they come across what looks like an alien. The thing, you think about aliens from different, media. It had a tail. It was, covered in like this armor or grayscale stuff. And, Bernadette says, oh, look, there's one. She says, don't hurt him, though. They come in peace. She still believes that she can, communicate with them. But, of course, this zombie or alien zombie, whatever, because what ends up happening is the alien ends up running at them in a sense almost to attack them. And as the group is shooting, it's like armor, its armor almost deflects bullets. But 10,000 with a perfect shot from his rifle is basically able to shoot the alien through like its eye, I think, or something, and it basically is enough to pierce the armor. But of course, when they shoot it, it has this timing mechanism that will cause it to explode, kind of like the Predator, in the movie Predators, when the Predator at the end of the movie, is defeated by Arnold Schwarzenegger. It blows itself up. So it was kind of the same circumstances, if you will. So they don't really know what exactly it was they shot at. Because when it explodes, you don't really see anything but guts and blood. And they continue on, and they find a lot of different technology. They find this big screen that's interactive. It reminds me of Avengers, like with Tony Stark, Iron Man, who can move things around on this computer screen. It was kind of like that. And Addie is looking through it, and she starts to notice, various different things. She starts to notice that um, whoever it is that's been watching them has been watching them. They have footage of, Doc from the premiere, very first episode walking around. It was right before 10,000 saved him. They had pictures of Murphy, and then you also saw videos and pictures of like aliens, and you're like, oh, well, this is a little different, So they couldn't really tell what was relevant, what wasn't, what was real, but somebody's been watching them. And uh, as Addie, Doc, and Murphy stay behind and watch the screen, you have 10,000, Vasquez, and Warren go forward with Bernadette, and they end up coming across this, area where there's, your typical government agents with the sunglasses and the suits. They come across dead bodies, and broken down doors and all that. And, it leads you to wonder, well, were there aliens that broke out of here and are now, out there floating around in UFOs? It makes you wonder. And they end up picking up these guns that really remind you of something, alien-like. They're these big, huge guns with, lasers or whatever those things are that shoot out of them. They're not ordinary guns. So you're seeing all of this and you're wondering, oh wow, maybe there really are aliens. What's going on here? What's this technology doing down there? Plus, you also see on the screen this reference to a place called Zona, which it really makes you wonder if maybe there is a planet called Zona. Addie was kind of wondering, well, maybe the aliens are from a place called Zona. Well, they end up making it back outside, right to where they started at the Air Force Base. And the UFO from the beginning of the episode comes back and just, is circling around the sky, and it beams lights down on Murphy and Bernadette, and basically, almost seems to be communicating with them. And Murphy, is mesmerized, maybe wondering, oh wow, maybe there really are, aliens. Maybe I wasn't as ridiculous as I thought. And Warren ends up taking the gun and shooting the UFO, and it eventually crashes, and you find out that the person that it actually was Scully, the guy from the beginning of the episode who told the group members that Bernadette was full of it. He basically reveals to them that I think he was working for the government, something like that. He wasn't necessarily a part of the group that was there. He said that he came there a few months earlier, and his mission was to collect any work that individuals were doing there, because it seemed like they were working with zombie pilots or something like that. He was going into detail, but he wasn't really explaining himself altogether. But one way or the other, Scully ends up confirming, no, none of those things were actually aliens. If anything, it really was, zombies inside of the alien suits, if you will. And Scully was basically, gathering these supplies to take back to whoever it was that he worked for. Now, it did leave a couple of questions. One, what exactly is Zona? Because he does talk about Zona. He talks about, he wanted to take Bernadette back to Zona with him, and he admits that, he was leading her on. There really were no aliens, but he wanted her to come with him. But when the UFO crashes, Scully is impaled with a piece of metal and he dies. And when he comes back as a zombie, Bernadette shoots him and gives him mercy. Well, the end of the episode, pretty much, Bernadette realizes it all was a lie, but in order to preserve her people and continue to give them hope, she lies and tells them that the aliens told her that, that they will be coming back at a later time. They need to wait longer. And Warren and the group just continue on their mission. So, again, it was a little out there. I don't think it was terrible. I thought it was very, very intriguing, and it did leave you wondering a little bit, hey, maybe there are different things at play here, why not? But I think that it's really not an episode that I would want to watch again. It was really like one of those one time, okay, I'm intrigued, but then by the end of the episode, when you know the truth, it really doesn't give you the drive to want to watch it again because you already know the ending. But you never know. I mean, if various different things might play a factor later on, again, what is Zona? Because you hear Scully talk about Zona as a beautiful place. Well, is it an area? Is it maybe something on the planet Earth, like Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, Antarctica, maybe, you never know, or South America, maybe one of the continents has been renamed Zona. I mean, that might be a possibility. Or is Scully really an alien? And maybe there is another place called Zona. I don't know. Maybe that was explained, but I didn't catch it. But again, it was one of those one-time episodes that, again, I thought it was very interesting, but I think when you watch it again, really a lot of the mystery and a lot of the excitement does not exist anymore. So it really was one of those ones you watch, and then afterwards it's like, well, okay, cool. But, I was entertained at the time, and I think that Z Nation's doing an excellent job. And again, it got renewed for season 3, and I'm really looking forward to it coming back next year for 15 more episodes. So with that, I'm going to bring this video to a close. I want to thank all of you for watching. Let me know what you guys thought of the episode yourselves. If there's any insight that you have to add, don't be afraid to leave comments. I really do appreciate it. Feel free to subscribe. I do have more videos coming. And if you have any suggestions for future videos that you would like to see, don't be afraid to suggest them. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you very much for watching.